This is your girl, Thalia Sanchez from Bella Vida Inc. I am a tattoo artist who loves to paint and travel the world, and I love my dog, Canela. Welcome to our podcast, Tattoo Nightmare, episode 19. For today's episode, we do have a client's perspective, dun dun dun, who will be giving us the 411 and the 911 calls. SOS. And she will be sharing her worst nightmares with us, chismosos and chismosas. So please welcome and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Erica Sanchez.
And we're sisters, because we share the last name.
And I am from the San Fernando Valley, 818.
Baby.
And I have over 30 tattoos or so from what I remember. And that's including cover-ups.
You gotta count the cover-ups, you guys, because they count. For sure. I think they count like 2 brownie points more. Yeah. Because that's no joke. Covering up a tattoo, not only for the artist, but for the client. Get not only double the work, but double the pain, or triple, even sometimes more.
Sometimes, depending on the scarring.
Exactly. You're right. Depending on the scarring stuff. For today's cups, we are going to come in blazing hot.
Yeah, that's
blazing
right.
hot with our 2 cups right here. And we do have some beautiful donuts from our lovely Leslie over here, Lala. She made her.
So much love.
Powder ones. What are these powder ones? There's a croissant back here that you can't see because it's mine. You get to choose 3, but not the powder ones.
I was telling you that one looks like the Homer Simpson donut.
Oh my god, I didn't.
No.
Why isn't this the one on my side of it? I got the Flintstone one.
Same era.
But we could get any of them when we want. And obviously we got our drinks here just in case we gotta take a moment from these traumatic moments that we're gonna go through and stuff together.
Very much so.
Revisit. So Erica, walk us through your Elm Street.
Oh my goodness. Let's start with my first tattoo.
Yes.
My first tattoo.
Your first ever tattoo?
My first ever tattoo.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago.
Okay.
Not to give my age, but it was a long time ago. And back then, it was mainly Caucasian men in the parlor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so walking in, it's kind of like, who do I go to?
Yes.
And stuff like that. So
Damn.
it's kind of a little scary.
How old were you?
No.
Really young.
I was 21.
Oh, okay.
No. I was 20. 1920.
You were a baby.
Yeah, 1920.
Walking
Can't remember.
into a tattoo shop full of Caucasians.
Yeah, and my first tattoo was a Black Panther. It was a Black Panther, and the guy smelled a lot like cigarettes too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
The first
That was my
sniff.
first tattoo. Yeah, it was my first tattoo on my leg.
I remember you showed me.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my God. So you came into it was a tattoo shop, and the first thing you smelled was a bunch of cigarettes.
Yeah, and the awkward part is that where I had it, I like literally had to wear like short shorts.
Yeah. Oh.
So imagine being
around
in a lot of men, and you're like, kind of half naked and stuff.
Did it have curtains or anything?
No, it was literally just an open room.
So you were exposed.
Yeah.
With everybody around watching and stuff.
Exactly.
And you were 20 and they knew.
Yeah. I was so young.
Yeah. And it's hard when you're young to set boundaries or learn how to set boundaries to know that this is okay or not okay and stuff.
Yeah.
And anyway, sorry for interrupting.
That's
this
okay.
Is so intense. I'm already diving into
It's so juicy.
questioning everybody how old were they?
It was so juicy. But the funny part was that I did something that I guess everybody says that we shouldn't do, is get names.
Oh, okay.
So I added a name because I was being pressured into it at that time.
Got it.
So, but even the funny part of the artist, he did say like, hey, I'm going to do it very lightly. So if you want to come back, you get it covered.
Got it. Oh, okay. That's, I guess, considerate of him.
Right? Yeah.
It didn't work out at the end where you had to cover
But the
it.
Panther did not come out cute at all. The Panther, his face was just
distorted.
Yeah, it was not good.
He was distracted.
Yeah, distracted. Are you sure you want this name?
Damn. I do have a question. When you were exposed and everything, did you feel like other artists were coming near you when they shouldn't have? walk me through that, because I feel like this is something a lot of ladies and a few men have gone through and stuff. So
I mean, back then they didn't have anything. It was just pretty much an open room, and when someone's tattooing, they'll come over to see like their artwork, you know, or what they're actually doing, or what you're getting. But they always come and they'll start asking you questions when you're trying to concentrate on your tattoo.
Like it's like bad timing.
Yeah, like my whole leg is out.
Give me some space here, like, especially because it's pretty much right there in your bikini
borderline
line.
Exactly.
Like, so you're already vulnerable. You're young. At least he could have told the other artists, you know, hey, you guys, I'm tattooing something, an intimate area. Yeah. Can you just please give us space, like 20 feet?
It was a little awkward. Get
out of the room. Yeah.
It was a little awkward. It really was.
100%.
And then I was only 19.
Yeah.
So it's, you know.
Were you the only female right there?
Yeah. That day. And a friend of mine. So it was only us two, and the rest were all men.
Yeah. Did she even feel like kind of weird?
Yeah, she looked at like, why are all these people coming up and looking at stuff like that? Yeah, instead of like let him do his work.
Because you're concentrating, and she's probably seeing everything what's going around, and it's like, okay, these people didn't really need to come that close to see it.
It was awkward. Yeah, that was like my first, and that was like my first tattoo.
Yeah, and it's so hard for you as a young woman also to be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable like this, because you feel like, oh, maybe this is the way tattoo shop is run,
right,
or how it's gonna be all the time and stuff, and it's inappropriate.
Yeah. Damn. It was very awkward.
Let me get my gun over here.
I haven't told you the juicy one yet. The nightmare.
I know she's warming us up, you guys. We're walking down the Elm Street now.
Yeah.
Now walk us towards the house.
Okay, towards the house. I'm like, yeah, right. Where we haven't been shot or killed yet.
Yeah.
Seriously, don't fall asleep.
Wake up, you guys. Drink your coffee.
No, seriously. The next one I went in, I wanted to go in for a small cover up.
Okay. And was that the name?
No. That one's way different. That one's, we're gonna keep that one to then.
Got it.
That's the juiciest one. So I went in because I wanted to get something covered, something small and simple, and it's, you know, down the line now, a couple years ago, and I ended up finding a female artist. Actually at that time, and then when I went in and I showed her what I wanted, she was okay with it. The only thing was that she was a smoker.
Okay.
So it's such a small piece for her, and it took her way too long. Like, it took a long time, and so she would take breaks in between and then go and come back, and then she would smell like cigarettes, and then she would have this horrible cough too, and I'm just like,
the smoker cough.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay.
I can't do it because I'm not a smoker, you guys.
Me neither.
You get it.
Yeah, exactly.
None of the donuts.
Damn. Yeah. So that was the second one that was really, you know, not okay.
Yeah. You know what? These are really important micro tattoo nightmares, because even though people were like, oh, it wasn't a big deal, but it bothered me. That's the thing. It bothered you. And I think a lot of tattoo artists, hopefully this, you know, it gives you some pointers to understand, like, your presence, your atmosphere makes a big impact, not only on the tattoo, but the experience for you guys on everything, you know? And like, you don't want to be remembered as that smoker tattoo artist, or the one that takes 20 breaks, you know, for you to get your smoking or whatever it is, regardless if it's, you know, Mary Jane, cigarettes, nicotina, what is called vaping and stuff.
Yeah.
Nicotina.
Some kind of nicotine. No, but it's true. I mean, walking in, you want to feel comfortable. You don't want to walk into an atmosphere where, you know, there's stuff like that going on, because there are needles and cuts and stuff like that. You know, so you're like, I don't feel comfortable being tattooed in here.
Exactly. You know, and like, sometimes you don't know how to get out of them because you're already there. And I realized that with a lot of clients, they're like, I felt like they had to be there. Like, if they spoke up, they were gonna get shunned, or they were gonna be treated not as nice and stuff, unfairly, or questioned and stuff, where it's like, no, you also have a voice, you know. And don't ever be afraid to speak up to a tattoo artist that, you know what, I don't like the environment here. I don't want to continue this, you know, because sometimes you don't meet them until the day of too.
Very true.
Especially nowadays. Back in the day, it was more like walk-ins. You get to, you know, see the shop before you meet the artist too a lot. So now everything's more online, and a lot of shops are private or no walk-ins and stuff. So it gets a little tricky now, because when you walk in, you're like, shocker, here it is, you know,
you're committed already. You're like, oh,
you're like, damn, like I didn't expect this. So these are good little micro tattoo nightmares to be spoken more about, where a lot of clients' perspectives aren't talked about.
Very.
So I love that, you know, you're speaking for the people.
Now, the juiciest one was, so where I got my panther, and the name.
Yes.
I decided to cover it up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm covered up. And this was maybe, well, now I don't even know how long ago. 30 years ago, probably, or something. Maybe not that much. Maybe 25.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe 25. Anyway, but I got a referral from a friend, and I had met him before. I didn't know that he was an artist though. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I could help you with that. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, come to the shop.
Okay.
Come to the shop. I'm gonna hook you up. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. So went to the shop, and he started tattooing me. And mind you, you know, it's a Black Panther. You know, it's dark. Yeah. You know, like, how is he gonna position that? You know. Yeah. So he did. So we did really well for a couple of sessions, and then after that, I went back for my last session.
Yes.
And he was gone.
He was a ghost.
I was like, where's so-and-so? He needs to finish my piece. And he's, his partner, or whoever was there, the business partner, said, actually, he got locked up. I said, what? They won't let me out.
No, please, no. Seriously. You know what he was doing?
I thought it was baking soda.
This is just sugar powder, right?
No, but so I ended up finding out that he got locked up. And since he got locked up, I was like, well, who's gonna finish my piece? Like, I'm not gonna walk around with like half of my stuff like done. So it really put me through some stress.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my goodness, like what am I gonna do?
Yeah. What are you gonna do? What did you do?
So trying to explain like what him and I already had going on this piece. Mind you, it went from a small Black Panther, to two big pieces combined together to cover that. So it went from like a small little thing to two big things. So I had to figure out how to explain this to his business partner, because I already paid. Yeah. You know? So he's like, well, I'll finish it for you. Jesus. Yeah, so it really put me through some stress, and I was just like, why wasn't I told? You know,
or like, a heads up,
exactly.
Or, you know, like,
not just show
or
up.
At least the partner letting him like, hey, can you tell my clients that, you know, I'm gonna get locked up? Unless it was like obviously like
out of nowhere.
It was. He didn't know and stuff. But I'm pretty sure he knew. So
exactly,
like,
his partner ended up finding out. So I mean, I think the best thing that should have been done is like, hey, let me call your clients. Yeah. Let them know what's going on.
Yes.
You know, something like that.
Yes.
But yeah. So
that's so crazy. You know, this isn't like the first or second or third or 10th time that I've heard this story. That's very similar, where, you know, their tattoo artist goes MIA. Either they move or they go to jail, or, you know, they see.
Yeah. Guns a blazing, girl. Guns a blazing.
Guns a blazing, you guys. Guns a blazing. But this is something that's really important, and like, you know, it's a good question to ask tattoo artists. You know, if like you feel like you're gonna get locked up, or you're going through that, you know, process, or, you know, it's a surprise and, you know, you get drunk, and, or, you know, you go to jail for whatever reason and stuff. Like, how should a tattoo artist approach that? You know, like, what would be the most responsible thing for them to do for their people? Because then they're stuck in this situation where it's like, who do I go to? How long is he gonna be in there? You don't want to ask all these personal questions, but it's like, you have to now, because it's like, I paid full already. Because some artists do ask for that, all the money up front. You know, they don't ask it for sessions or whatever. So it becomes a nightmare where you're like, what, how, where, you don't even know.
And where do you start? Because then you have to look for another artist, and then it takes time to trust an artist. I mean, you're literally you know, putting artwork on my skin that can't just be removed. So it was very stressful because I'm like, do I need to go look for someone else?
Yeah.
I already paid. I mean,
how much more do I have to pay?
Exactly.
Like, how much more time do I need? Will they be able to like do the same? Or
that was exactly what I was gonna say.
What is it? Finish or start where they finish or they left off?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm even stressing out. I'm like,
so it's a nightmare. It literally
donut powder donut.
Make sure it's a donut you're eating.
Yeah, I know. I had to make sure dust it off.
No, but it was a nightmare because I mean, we already had a plan. It was a set plan. He already knew what he was doing. The money was paid for, and then you walk in and you're like, where is he? So it's like you sit there and you're stunned and you're like, what do you do? Like literally, what do you do? And so I just ended up talking to his partner, told him, you know, what we were looking at. And he's like, well, you know what, since you already paid your money, it's like, I'll help you finish it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it wasn't exactly what him and I had in mind or anything like that, but at least it was it was finished.
You're trying to look at the brighter side where it's like, you know what? I guess it's done.
Yeah. It goes back to what you were saying, like when you're sitting inside, you already signed, but you're like looking around like, did I make the right choice to actually choose this person?
Yeah, because every artist in a tattoo shop is different. You know, like they're all not gonna have the same style. And sometimes they do, you know, but it's really rare when they have very similar styles and composition and everything. And it's so hard. Like I'm even more damn, I'm so sorry you went through that, because that is a stressor, you know, like for them to leave you hanging like that and stuff, no communication,
nothing whatsoever.
You had to go into the shop and figure it out yourself because you're like, hey, what's up, you know? And I've had some clients tell me the same thing where they're like, the artist wasn't replying to them and they paid full front. So they did the same thing, go into the shop, ask for them. Nobody knew where they were at, nobody knew what was going on, but she obviously thought or suspected that they did because they were all looking at each other like, what do we do? Where it's like, just tell me where he's at, like if he's gone or like left town.
Honesty
just some kind of closure so they could know what to do. It's like, okay, do I need to look for a new artist then? You know, like, talk to me, you know, he's part of your shop, you know, like, and it sucks because you got to be careful as tattoo owners, like who you bring in your shop, because that will definitely impact your whole entire shop.
Agreed.
You know, as much as you want to be independent and stuff, like that's something I realized, that clients see you as a whole team. They don't see you as individuals like that when it comes to stuff like this, like
especially in a shop.
Yeah, because you think, you know, when you come in a shop, oh, everybody gets along, or hey, they all working together, they know each other's schedules and stuff. So communication is really big, from what I realized, from clients to artists to artists to clients. And I think this is something good for artists to take more, you know, pointers of like how to communicate better with their people to make sure they get treated right and stuff, because they do traumatize you. If especially you're trying to cover this up, you already had something planned, and then boom, they're gone, you're not even done, you gotta restart pretty much from zero and see who can do it, you know, because not a lot of people are not only capable of doing the cover-ups, but a lot of people say no because they have this kind of rule of like, oh, I don't touch so-and-so's work or other people's work, or they just only tattoo like fresh skin, no cover-ups, no enhancing.
Why is that?
You know what? I feel like sometimes, from what I realized, the old school mindset is more of a respectful thing, and I get it. But
I can see
if
that.
the client, and this is what I realized after, if the client doesn't want to go back to that tattoo artist for whatever reason, they don't own that person. You do not owe that person. They're not your human to own, you know? And this is something a client told me one time. She's like, why do I have to only get tattooed by so-and-so? Why can't you tattoo me if I'm the one giving you the money, if I'm the one that wants your work? And that made me realize, you're right.
Good point.
It's like, they're not in charge of your body. You're in charge of your own body and stuff. And that's when I realized, like, no, like I can actually do it if I feel like I can, if I could actually help you out. But yeah, like sometimes it's just like a respectful thing, or, you know, egoistic thing, I would say now, because it's just like you're playing with other humans' feelings and confidence.
I would understand if it wasn't like in my situation, like it wasn't a finished product.
Yes.
You know, if it wasn't a finished product and then the person was still there, but I want someone else to finish it, I would see why an artist would say like, no, you know, he needs to finish it because that's his thing.
Exactly.
But to get a cover up,
yes,
that has already been done and over with. Yes. I mean, I am so grateful I found you, because the cover up that I got of the Black Panther, you've seen it.
Yes.
And it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was really old and it was really horrible, and now it's a beautiful masterpiece.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's so the transition and the stories behind every cover up is always mind blowing, because you just never would have thought you had gone through something like that, you know, like because for sometimes I'm like, oh, did you communicate to the artist? But a lot of people do. It's just sometimes the artist, they think they understood the client, but they don't do those extra questions. They don't dive a little deeper to get to know them. They're like, yeah, I can do it. And in the end, they're like, oh, I thought that's what you meant.
In the like, awkward silence, it's like, no, tell me what you're doing.
And there are a few people who do not do any cover-ups or tattoo other people's what they have and stuff. They just do fresh canvases because that's just like their thing. They don't know how to do a cover-up, or they won't even want to try it, and I totally get it. So it's better just to be honest to the client and be like, hey, this is not my forte, like I can't help you, I'm sorry.
It's an imagination to me.
It's better to be honest than tell somebody I can cover it, and then you make a even worse tattoo of that, and then it's like a triple cover up right there. And I've done a couple of those where it's like cover up of a cover up of a cover up of a cover up, and it's insane.
You're right though, you're so on point. Like it's a thing, because you really have to use your imagination, and that's where the artist part comes in. Yes. And you're like, okay, well, I could do this and I can make it look this way and do this way, and that would actually look a lot better, and so forth. Yes. And I believe that a lot of artists out there, they just stencil something that you find on the wall or in a book. Yes. And you just stencil it, put it on, and do it. Yes. Instead of doing it. That's why every time we get tattooed, I say we, because I'm like, I'm loyal to you. I'm like, loyal to you.
No, we're a team. Like, especially when it comes to tattoos, like I see it as we're a team. We got to work together to create this masterpiece, because when you are in two opposite ends of like the fucking table, and don't understand, you're not going to create a good masterpiece. It's just going to be hell for both of you guys, the client and the tattoo artist and stuff.
And you're not going to be happy with the outcome of it.
The client's going to be so miserable, and like their confidence is going to be so down because they didn't get what they wanted. The tattoo artist will be so annoyed because it's like, oh, I thought that's what you wanted, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you guys got to communicate. The artist has to communicate more with the client and get more stuff out of them, like questions of like, what colors do they like, if they want it black and gray. Also dive in deeper, because every cover up is different, and that's something I've definitely learned. Like, it's always hard to give somebody like a rundown the same way, because it depends if it's small, how old the tattoo is, the placement, does it have scarring, are you sensitive? It comes down to so many more things in cover-ups versus a clear canvas, you could say. So definitely dive in more deeper with that. And I know it becomes a little annoying to a client sometimes, because they're like, can you do it or not, you know, because they're very desperate. But I've learned to take your time and ask all these questions that are so important. Like, give them a tattoo they will love, not just to cover up, because I've learned that that's not gonna heal them, or they're still gonna hate it.
So, you're like, I still hate this thing.
I'd rather like be like, what do you like? Am I capable of doing that, or can I change some few things? You know, like sometimes you do go way bigger than what you need to do because of how big the cover up is. So there's some cases you can go small. But it just depends on what I mentioned, scarring, how old the tattoo is, and some people just hold in the ink so well. It's so hard to cover up certain pieces because of that, of certain style that they want. So we're limited, but we're also trying to work with the client of like, what do you like, you know? Don't just come to a tattoo artist saying like, can you cover this up? Tell us what you really want for us to really, you know, create something for you better. And just tell them like, can you do cover-ups? Have you done cover-ups? Check their cover-up work, you know, like stalk them a little.
I agree. No, it's true. We do, as clients, we do need to walk in with knowing what to do. I mean, what we want. Sorry, not what to do. What we want, because you guys could not read our minds. So the artist cannot read our minds. We actually kind of have to give them like, this is what I have in mind, but if you suggest anything, great.
Yeah.
You know, tell me what it is. Yes. But it is hard walking in and just saying like, hey, I need a cover up. I'm not sure what I want.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Can you look at it and give me some suggestions?
Yes.
You know, because I think as much as I help you, you help me.
Exactly.
Type of thing.
Yes. And that's where the team effort comes in. You know, like, I realized as being a tattoo artist, you really have to have some kind of empathy and love for people. You know, I know some artists are very like introverts more, and they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with people, I just want to draw and stuff like that. Cool. But honestly, for you to build a better connection with your people and to understand them, you have to like take your time and ask them questions, you know, for you to be clear and on the same page. And that's what I realized, and the way I work, I've done way better. And I've gotten a lot of compliments from my clients, because I'm actually shocked on how many times they've told me that, oh wow, you ask a lot of questions, or you're actually getting to know me, you're trying to get to know me. And I'm like, yeah, like, we're gonna be spending a lot of time. I want to make sure I'm actually creating something that you like, versus something that I might think look good but you don't like it. And then you're just gonna, even it could be, it's like that saying, you could be the best peach but not everybody's gonna like peaches, you know. And it's those things that you have to connect and communicate with your people. Also,
I mean, just to piggyback on that, it's like you guys are somewhat giving us therapy.
Yes.
You know, you guys are like little therapists, because of the fact that some people get tattoos for therapy, you know, for you know, just
whatever they're going through.
Yeah, exactly what they're going through. So, you know, you asking questions is actually a good thing to me, because you're able to actually identify a whole lot more, especially if you're doing a cover up or a brand new piece, because you're able to see your love in it. That's why I love all my pieces from you, because of that vibe, you know.
Don't make me cry.
It's okay, mija, it's okay.
And I love what you're saying.
Vibe, I believe if you really vibe out with your artist, it reflects on the tattoo. It reflects on the tattoo. It's gonna also be easier to tattoo, and you're not gonna feel as much pain. Because you're not so tense, you're not so like, you're allowing them to do what they need to do. Because I know if I tense up, or if anything is happening within me in my mind, I know it's gonna come out on my skin. You know, I get the chills, or I can start, you know, twitching or whatever it may be, because of what's happening up here. Instead of letting it just be and stuff like 100%.
That. And that's going back to the environment, you know, like when you talked about the first two nightmares is when you go in, the first thing you smell is cigarette smoke, you know. And it's not to
Mary Jane.
nowadays
you walk in, it's like potpourri. It's like potpourri around.
And it's something I do hope other tattoo artists can catch up, or if they're trying to become a tattoo artist, to kind of think about a little bit of that, not just the art but the environment you're around. Not to say don't smoke,
no, none of that.
It's more of like, there's a time and place for things, you know. So I did have a client that I was tattooing at this one studio, and we all had different rooms. And I didn't realize, because I didn't really think about it so much, maybe because I was already used to the smell, but they were obviously hotboxing the other room, and even though there was windows, you could still sniff, you know. My client started kind of getting really dizzy, and he was like, oh, he kind of asked me like, do you smoke? And I was like, no, like I actually don't. And he was like, okay. But then like 5 minutes passed, and like I kind of saw him swerving a little bit, and he was like, I'm sorry, like I can smell it, and it gets me really lightheaded, and I start getting panic attacks. Oh wow. So some people get very angsty around it and stuff, and they do not, because secondhand smoke, you obviously hot box and stuff, and I guess the smell was going through the cracks and stuff. So I had to go over and let the artist know, like, hey, I got a client here, can you guys turn on the AC fans, or if you're gonna do this,
air it out.
Or go to your car to do it, because my client over here is really sensitive to the point where he could get panic attacks and stuff. So people need to be considerate of that, of other people's clients and stuff, and like, they're people where it's like they're trusting you, you know, they're being vulnerable, and then they're like, gotta deal with this other mess and stuff, where it's like, dude, like there's a time and place for stuff like that. Like just keep the tattoo shop clean, and if you want to party and do all that stuff, cool. Like kudos
the
to you.
Drinking too. You're right. Like they like either go and drink beer, or you smell it on them, or like the alcohol and stuff like that. That also is, I mean, I get it relaxes them or whatever it may be, but I would still be nervous.
Yeah.
It's like, are you sure you want to tattoo me? Because I mean, are you okay?
100%.
So I'd rather have you focused and know what you're doing than not. Because what I wanted to say was the fact that we're investing, like the money that we spend on our tattoos, because we love them, you know, it's an investment, but we're investing this amount of money on the artist, so the artist could invest it in our artwork.
100%. It's a yin and yang, a push and pull. Like we need one another and stuff, and like you literally worked your ass off for this money to pay for the tattoo. Exactly. So we have to put our part as tattoo artists to give you the best tattoo as possible. The experience comes with it all, because you could be the best tattoo artist but give them the worst experience and they will hate that tattoo. They'll be like, it's good, but I didn't have a good experience, and it's just that trauma that's attached to them now with the tattoo and stuff. And it's one of those things that tattoo artists, and I hope you're hearing this, it's nothing to bash on one another, because I like it when other people call us out as well, for us to get better at this and for us to be considerate of the environment, because I think we are always so stuck on the work, how good I can become, but let's think about how well the environment can be around, not only for us but for other fellow tattoo artists, and especially our clients who invest in us, because without them we wouldn't be where we're at, you know, and we gotta let our egos out of the way. I was gonna say egos.
Let go my ego. No, it's so true though, because you know what, like this is how I, you know, when I have such a great experience and I vibe out with my artists, that's the first thing that comes out of my mouth. I mean, because they see my art. I like showing my art, you know? So anytime they're like, oh my God, look at this. And then they'll start asking like, oh, who do you go to? The first thing that comes out, I was like, oh my God, she has such a great soul. Or, you know, so.
And I think that's like one of the best compliments ever to get. It's like, dude, their energy, their environment, like you could breathe around them, you know, versus like, hey, are you okay with drinking that or smoking that, whatever it is, you know? I understand when you said like sometimes some artists do take a couple, you know, drinks to relax and get in the zone, or maybe a little bit of smoke or two and stuff, but as long as they know their limit. And I think that comes also with clients, you know, like as long as you know your limit, you know, like to relax and stuff. We get it, you're nervous, you're gonna get a needle in you for a couple hours, you know, or we never know if they are afraid of needles, you know. So I totally get it, as long as we communicate, both the tattoo artist with the client with tattoo artist, where it's like we know each other's limits of drinking and doing all that extra stuff to relax and stuff. I
think it's very important, because us walking in as clients, we want to feel comfortable and we want to feel invited. In other words, like we want to feel comfortable, we want to feel invited, we want to be like, okay, they want me here. They don't just want me for my money, obviously. Exactly. They actually are invested. Like they see you as a human, not just like a canvas, like, sit in there, we'll tattoo you and slap whatever we want. Exactly. And you know, because I mean, I get it. A lot of artists, you know, created a name for them and so forth, and you know, you want them because then you'd be like, oh, so and so, you know, tattooed me, look, this is the artwork. But it goes back to what you just said, you know. It was great, I got tattooed by this guy or this person, but the experience was horrible. Like, you know, either 100%. Smelled like cigarettes, or he smelled like this, or she, you know, he or she, they something of that nature didn't feel comfortable, or you know, it's like I spent this certain amount of money and I had the worst experience. You know, 100%. It's crazy. Like, you're not just the only person who has spoken about this, and I'm pretty sure other tattoo artists, you know, hear all the mess from our clients, where, you know, they get that one tattoo artist that they're a great artist but not the greatest experience, where they'll never go back, you know. They don't seem like they care. They're like, let me just get this done and move on. 100%. And there's a lot of it's like that mindset. It's like how many people I could pull in. Let me see how many people I can tattoo, how fast I can tattoo. It's like a race. Versus hey,
like, let me enjoy and take my time with every person that comes to me to create something amazing and beautiful, because we have to see you guys as human beings as you are, versus like, oh, this is gonna pay my this, like, oh, I could get another client tomorrow, I don't care about this person, or how many more people I could squeeze in one day. And it's like, you're gonna mess up, not only because you're going quick that you're forgetting the small steps, but you're forgetting the most important thing is like they're human.
Yeah,
they have feelings. You're part of the experience for them. You never know how much this person worked so hard to save up to get a tattoo by you. I think that's so important. Like, when I see that, and I realized that more as I was growing as a tattoo artist, I consider my time as like, let me, in a sense, cater to you. Let me make this experience amazing. Like, let me slow you down so you can enjoy this. Because everybody's going at a quick pace. You're coming from work. You're coming from, oh, my babysitter, whatever it is, you know,
you're
like
racing for time.
Exactly. Like, there's traffic, there's whatever it is, you know, and you come into a place where you just want to like, even though you're going to go through pain a little bit, it's more of like a relief of like, I've been working my ass out to get this piece. And when it's done correctly, you guys blossom so amazingly. Like, you glow.
The artist, you guys are part of our story.
Yeah.
You know, you're part of our story. You're part of our tattoos. And you could just tell the difference on how someone wants to show off your artwork.
100%.
It's like your artwork's your signature.
Yes.
You know, so if you're not going to, if you know you're not going to be in it, just tell us. Like, hey, you know what? Unfortunately, I cannot tattoo you.
Yes.
I could refer you to somebody else, you know, whatever maybe, but I would rather walk in or to meet someone and say, you know what? I would love to do this for you, but I can't.
100%.
I would rather have an artist tell me that. I would have so much more respect for them.
Yes.
And I would refer people to them, say, hey, you know what? This person's honest. Yes. Go to them, see if they can help you out.
You know what? I have had actually quite a few clients, specifically for cover-ups, actually, that other artists have referred them to me because they weren't able to, or because cover-ups are not a joke. You really need to know what you're doing. If you cannot guess on a tattoo times 10 on a cover-up. It's more of a strategy. Imagination, strategy, learning about layers. It's just extra more steps and stuff. But I do, obviously, like, when I ask them like, oh, which artist and stuff, like, and they let me know, I make sure I tell them, oh, thank you so much, you know, great. Because I appreciate them for not only sending me someone, but also thinking about the client.
It's because the respect, too.
And they're actually grateful, the client. They're like, oh man, like, I'm excited to cover this up. I want to get another piece from them, because they're very also grateful that they were able to be like, hey, I couldn't do this piece, you know, versus messing them up. And it's like a double whammy where they invested all this money into this artist with their trust, their hard-earned money, you guys, because we already know the tariffs ain't a joke. But that's something that us tattoo artists need to be considerate of. Like, yes, we're tattooing them, but it's both of our time and investments that we're putting on one another, because we're trusting each other, you know.
And we take our time off work too.
Exactly.
You know, we accommodate you as much as you accommodate us, you know.
I love that.
So it's like us walking in, it's like, okay, I know I want to get tattooed by this person, and these are their hours, then I'm going to take time off work.
Yes.
Some people don't have vacation. Some people don't have sick time.
Yes.
So it's like we also are losing money to just come and spend time with you.
Exactly.
And it's time that we don't get back.
Yep.
You know, it's time that we get back. So that's why when I say, as much as we invest, it's also we're investing our time.
Yes.
And you know, that's our time spent. So I want to come and know that I'm going to be chill with this person, and I'm you know, the more I'm comfortable, the more I relax, and the more I give you the opportunity to do what you need to do.
Yes.
Because if I'm not relaxed and I'm tense and I'm stressed out, this is not going to work out.
Yes.
You know, and it's just going to make it harder for the artist to do on us. And the same thing, I say this for clients, you know, for people that are looking to get sleeves, for people that are your first tattoo.
Yeah.
To me, I think tattoos are great. They're an expression. It's artwork.
Yes.
And they're meaningful. So you could walk in and just get a small little thing, but that could be like the huge thing, even though it's a small little thing.
100%. You know? Size doesn't matter, or does it? That is really beautiful, and I love everything you're saying, because I'm even learning more of this, and like that's where I want to question more of, or not question, like hear more of my clients, like, hey, what do you guys want more, or how do you guys feel more comfortable? Like, I love hearing all this stuff to self-improve. It's like, okay, let me get a better experience, because each year I get better and better, but because I've been hearing my clients, hearing what they've been saying, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right each time. And I really do hope other tattoo artists take also that same kind of process of thought of like, how can I consider my client more and like make them feel good. And I understand some clients are like, well, we already do a lot, we already design, we already do this, and I get it, and I get all of that, but remember, this is also their time, exactly how you said. You guys took off time of work,
or babysitters or whatever.
Some people have to get extra a babysitter pretty much to take care of their kids, because a lot of shops don't take in kids and stuff. You know, it's needles and all that stuff, but also it's things like that where it's like, oh, okay, I gotta find a babysitter, pay extra for that now. Time wise, sometimes the tattoo, you know, it's more longer than expected, so it's like, shit, I can't be there that long, or the tattoo artist, you know, comes in too much late and you already paid this many hours for your babysitter. And I've heard many stories. It's crazy, where it's like, damn, like we have to also consider that we're both sacrificing something to create something amazing and beautiful. That's right. And I always tell tattoo artists, take every tattoo so serious, you know, like if it's your last piece you're gonna make, you know,
you never know, it might be, you know, you never know, it might be. That's why it's always, that's what I was telling about time. Yes, because when you're here, we're here for over 6-7 hours, depending on the piece. 8 hours. That's 8 hours of your life that you're not going to get back.
Exactly.
You know, sorry to get very deep.
Be in the moment. And that's something that has helped me out to create better pieces, to connect with my person, because literally when I'm tattooing, everything else I'm not thinking about my next tattoo. I'm not thinking about who I should message. All I'm thinking about, what's the next step I need to do on the tattoo and stuff, because I'm in the present moment. I'm not thinking about, oh shit, I'm time limited, I can only do this much. No, I'm thinking about, all right, perfect, this is clean, now I gotta do the transition. My attention is all on you. And your energy totally, like, it totally does make a difference when it is a longer piece. Yes. Because there's times that I've gotten tattooed by her and we were in already 6 hours and it doesn't even feel like it. Yep. Like, your day goes like this. 100%. Like, and you vibe out that great. Like, her and I do, if I could, you know. Can I tell you my first experience when I met her? Oh, yes. Okay, so my first experience, I came in to get the cover-up of the cover-up. Oh, yeah. It was a cover-up of a cover-up. The Panther, and then the girls, she fixed it, and now it's a masterpiece. But I walked in, showed her, and literally we had no words. Yeah. I would look at her and she'll be like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, and that's all our conversation. That was our conversation. That was our conversation. I am not kidding you. That was, we did not speak words, and ever since then I was like, that's it. Yeah, it was crazy, like how we just, oh yeah, I could do it. Oh yeah, we just understood everything. Yeah, we were showing each other references, everything. Yeah, it was crazy. It was amazing. You know, it's rare when you find that. It's a Sanchez. Yeah, the Sanchez in that. It was great. Yeah, that was our first experience. After that, like, and then she freehanded. I was just like, we did it. I was blown away, and just the environment, the way we vibed out, like. It was just perfect. All about it. It was just great. We met in the perfect timing and we aligned with one another. And I think that's the cool part about tattooing, is you meet people you would never have met if we weren't in this industry, or if you never had that cover up of a cover up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the stories where it aligned. And I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason and stuff. And when you connect with people like this, like, you just want to cherish them and really take care of them. That's why I say people. I don't like saying clients, because they are my people. Because I literally seen them grown, and I seen you blossom. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, cover-ups can really make your confidence go down, but when you start enhancing them and doing your job good, you see their confidence start going up and up, and you're just so proud of them. You're like, damn, look at them grow, look at them confident, they show their skin more. They're just more like, look at me, like,
we're 8 years in, girl. We're 8 years in. And I don't know how many other tattoos, you know? Like, literally.
Yeah, I know. You're all pretty much.
So many.
She's almost covered up, you guys. 95%.
So much more to go.
To end this nightmare on a really good note, I do have a question for you, Erica. What would you suggest for tattoo artists to be more open about?
I do suggest it's okay to say this is not going to look good.
Got it.
It's okay, because like I want to walk in and get this fancy pink unicorn.
The unicorn. It's always the unicorn.
But it's not going to, like, my skin, it won't go good with my skin.
Got it.
You know, so I would like the artist to say, like, hey, you know what? I could do it for you, but it's not going to look good.
Got
like,
it.
it's okay to say that to someone. If the person gets mad, then you know what? Then you shouldn't be tattooing them.
Yeah.
You know, but I do suggest just to be a little bit more inviting, and it's okay to say that's not going to look good. Can I suggest something else?
Yes.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But to be a little more maybe gentle with the words instead of like that's going to look ugly.
Yeah.
You know, have a way with the words.
I understand what you're saying. Like, you just want them to be more open on not only the tattoo, but also if you can't do it, also be open about that, versus like fucking over the person and shooting them at the. Might as well shoot them in the foot, you know?
Seriously.
What's that saying called?
Yeah.
And also be more open, as in like inviting, like more welcoming and stuff. And that is actually something that I have heard since I started tattooing. That a lot of artists aren't welcoming, that they actually don't want to get tattooed, you know, or they don't even speak up because they feel like they're gonna be disrespected or shunned or whatever it is. Exactly. That they're like, I guess I just have to trust the artist even though I see they're not doing what I wanted. Exactly. How do I get it out of here, you know?
It just makes it worse.
Yeah.
And it's better to save both of the client and the artist time.
Yes.
And know, like, hey, I'm just letting you know the placement's not going to look good there, or the color's not going to look there. You know, I could suggest some stuff or whatever. And if the client gets upset, then
just be like, you know, I can't tattoo you because or else it's not going to look good, or I just can't. I just can't. You know,
I'd rather hear that from an artist, and it just goes back to what I said. It gives more respect.
Yeah.
You know, I'll respect you a lot more to say no to me.
Yeah.
And say that's not going to look great.
Yeah.
You know.
100%. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Be
like
inviting and be honest about
and it, you know what, this will help artists to have boundaries as well. You know, if you don't feel comfortable in doing a piece, but the client's like, hey, I want you to do this, why can't you do this? It's like, it's not my cup of tea, I'm sorry. I'm either going to recommend you to another shop or another tattoo artist, how you said, just to avoid any problems or hassles and stuff where it gets more bigger than what it should have been.
Exactly.
Damn, that's a good one. Take notes, you guys. I'm gonna pop quiz next week.
Right?
But you know what? Thank you so much, Erica, for sharing your nightmares with us and your traumas with all of us, because now we're all traumatized.
My pleasure.
And thank you guys for listening to our Cheeseman tattoo artists, clients, future artists, or future people who are trying to get a tattoo and stuff. But cheers with our blazing right here, you guys. Oh yeah, a little bit of a pique, or what are they called? Shot. No,
piquete?
A piquete. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
That's right. We're Sanchez.
Yeah. Because we are sisters. We stand together. But thank you for surviving with us in our nightmares. And see you guys in our next episode. No, just kidding. Tattoo Nightmare, episode 20. Bye, guys.